If, well, not if, you know, when my daughter starts dating and everything, I wouldn't want her to date someone such as myself. You know, now this ain't no incest or nothing like that. I'm talking about like that has the same type of mind state, a state of mind that I have, or I've been through, the things that I've been through as far as dealing with women. I wouldn't want her to date, you know, someone such as myself. I just wouldn't. You know, I think I really started out good, you know. I was raised in a single parent household. You know, my mother went to work. I hardly ever saw her, like, you know, be around a bunch of men. And, you know, she always had, like, you know, a friend or something like that. But for the most part, she was fairly solid. You understand? And then, you know, later on, she got married to that bozo, you know, and then, you know, she divorced. Well, they got a divorce, and that was that. So the type of environment I came from, you know, it wasn't that my environment. My mother didn't teach me these things. You know, I learned these things on my own, you know. So I never forget it. Like, I was in high school, lost my virginity to this chick. She was from Miami, Florida, right? And this boy, she's like 16, 17 years old, and she, you know, told me about her past and everything, how she was stripping and all the rest of that. I'm like, yo, this boy is doing this and that and so forth. But then at the same time, I understand the story, because to make the long story short, she was doing all of that stuff. And her parents, I think they were crackheads or whatever, and she got sent up to Durham, North Carolina, and she lived with her aunt. And then, you know, of course, she grown accustomed to that environment, you know, doing all of the things that she did in that environment. So she was just tricking up here, you know. So she gave me a blowjob. She did the whole shebang, you know, and I lost my virginity to her. And, you know, pretty much she was a whore. And, you know, after that, you know, I started like having this mentality, like, you know, I just wanted a good girl. I wanted someone that I could just chill with and that'd be faithful to me or whatever have you. And then I just kept on running into whores. You know what I mean? And until eventually I wound up having a girlfriend, found out she was a whore. And in order to like be with her, to justify me being with a whore, I said to myself, you know what, I'm gonna have to, you know, whore as much as she did. You know, she had 50 under her belt, so at that time I only had about 10 or 15 chicks that I dealt with, you know, so I had to catch up to her numbers. You know, it failed, it was a disaster. I mean, one time, you know, she didn't tell me, so she knew I was cheating on her. But, you know, she didn't tell me. You know, one time we was cheating on one another, and we ran into each other at the same club. It was a disaster, man. You know, I came home one night and she was with a dude. The dude was laid out. She took a shower. You know what time it was. He had the 40-ounce bottle on the table. You know, I'm a 90s dude, so I'm gonna have to explain to you all millennials what a 40-ounce bottle symbolizes when you walk inside a person's house, and you know, the female and the dude is laying on the bed. So 40-ounce was a cheaper version of, you know, what we would do to get, you know, drunk. That was our cheap version, you know. But for those that had money back in the days, you know, they were drinking Cristal, Dom Perignon, and Moet. You know, 40-ounce beer was like a thing where you would drink it before you had sex, because you would think, we thought that it would get us, you know, hard, but in all actuality, it did the exact opposite. That particular summer, Budweiser was just kicking the 40-ounce beers into the urban community, and they were selling 40-ounce beers for like 99 cents. And word was, you know, was going around that St. Ides, just as well as 40-ounce beer, Budweiser and the likes, were giving men low sperm counts, you know. So that was what's up, you know. You saw a 40-ounce on the table, you knew what was up. So, you know, after that, you know, I got with this one broad, you know, I'll never forget, I was hanging out with these dudes, you know, they was smoking weed or whatever, and I would see her, she lived with them, but nobody ever touched her, you know what I'm saying? You know, I swung by, you know, smoked weed and everything. We got the one. Make long story short, we got to know one another, and she had a boyfriend, African boyfriend. You know, I went over their house before, you know, ate dinner with him or whatever have you, and then later on that night, you know, she gave me a blowjob. You know, so I've been around whores all my life, man. I can honestly say that most of the women that I've dealt with were whores. You know, I didn't know that in the very beginning. You know, I mean, it just came like in a very, very subtle way. You know. And now that I'm older, you know, I'm scorned. You know, the mother of my children, she'll tell you that I'm scorned. I have like trust issues when it comes to women. I don't want to deal with women. I don't want to be told what to do. I don't want to tell women where I'm going. I don't want to be in a long-term relationship, let alone a short-term one. I just want to be by myself. You understand? Like throughout all of the years, this is what I realized about myself, that I never took the time out to learn about myself and who and what I am, and what I really want in life. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't until recently, like I was doing that. You know, like a lot of soul searching. You know, most of the time, we as men, we think that we need a woman, and true to a certain extent, we do. But you know, I'm saying like we need like as if a woman completes us. No, a woman doesn't complete us. You know, what we have to do is when we walk into a relationship, we have to be complete. You understand? We have to take that 100% and put it into the relationship. She takes 100%, so that's that 50, and that's that 50. So we have to have that whole solid 50% and in order to make it a whole. Meaning that we have to have our shit together. You know, throughout all of this time, you know, as far as me dealing with women or whatever have you, I never like really sat down and came up with an economic plan in order for this relationship to work. And this is the reason why, well, one of the reasons why I failed. All my relationships failed. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, either we were struggling or we was mismanaging money, or, you know, our priorities were straight. You know, times where it was like, yo, let's go to New York. Well, we should have just went ahead and paid the damn rent. Now I'm talking about, you know, when I was younger. You know, of course, I don't make those dumbass decisions now in 2020. Of course, you know, I've learned from my mistakes, and that's what a real man does. He makes mistakes and he learns from his mistakes. And he sees other people make mistakes and he learns from those mistakes. He knows not to make them because somebody already has made it for him. And he sees it. Oh, I said, I ain't going down that street. He already went down that street and got hit by that car. I'm not going down there. I'm going to go over here. You know, so, I mean, it makes perfect sense, man. You know, I want my daughters to, you know, be with somebody that's going to be already straight, mind, body, and soul. You know what I'm saying? Like, and to be, like, financially prepared to take on the responsibility of taking care of someone else. You know, the women that I dealt with, their fathers, their parents weren't in their life, so they had no guidance. And I felt as though that, being that I didn't have a parent, you know, I only had one parent, you know, that was in my household at the time. I was like, you know what, they understand me. So it was kind of like a situation where it was like, you know, I'm rooting for the underdog. I'm the underdog. The only person that will understand the underdog is an underdog. Not knowing that, you know, I should have dealt with women that came from a wholesome background, you know, had a mother and a father, in which that woman can grow up and have that wisdom that man can give her, that, you know, coming from a father, that wisdom that a woman could give her coming from a mother's perspective. You understand? So it's just like, man, I sit back and I look and I'm saying to myself, yo, I gotta do it over. Like, I gotta do this over. Like, I gotta come back again. I gotta reincarnate again in order for me to have a fresh start, because this lifetime right here is just done. It's just done. Like, I don't see myself coming out of this. I just really don't. I don't. And nobody can convince me to. You see what I'm saying? Like, I've been around a lot of women that have been selfish. Been around a lot of women that want to change me, that want me to be want me to be who and what they are instead of loving me for who and what I am. You understand? So, yeah, man, I've slept on couches, I've slept in my own bed and slept in my own room a lot of times as far as dealing with female relationships, you know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't even sleep in a bed with these broads, you know, so that's how much I wanted to be alone and be independent and be by myself, you know. And some may say, well, you know, if you look at your past, what happened in your past? Well, you know, I stayed on punishment a lot of times. My mom's kept me in my room, you know, and I had to read the Bible and all the rest of that. So it's kind of like, you know, you might could say that my past haunts me. And when somebody tries to ask me questions, in particular female, you know, it comes off like she's trying to control me or whatever, and in all actuality, she just wants to ask the question. Well, either way, I feel as though the woman is trying to control me, and that's that. I'm not going to change or nothing. I don't want to answer to no one. I just don't. I don't want to compromise. I don't want to tell you what's on my mind. I don't want to tell you how I feel. I'm just not into it. I'm just not, you know, and I just know most women are not going to put up with a man like me, and I wouldn't want my daughters to put up with a man like me. You know, I'm stubborn. I'm funny, meaning that I can like you, and we could be looking at TV together, enjoying one another, and then all of a sudden I'm like, man, this boy been here too goddamn long, and I'm tired of making excuses. That's what I used to do when I was young. Like, yeah, you know, listen, my dog got hit by a fire truck, and I gotta go get him, so you gotta leave. No, I'm not gonna say that anymore. I'm just gonna be like, hey, listen, I don't know how to say it. I'm just gonna be like, yo, listen, I'm just tired. Like, what do you mean you tired? I mean, like, I'm tired. Like, I just want to be by myself right now. Like, I don't want to tell you I'm tired of you. I'm just telling you that I just want to be by myself right now. I just want my own space. I just think that, man, it's like, it was those moments when I was by myself, because I have had moments when I was by myself and I wasn't in no relationship or nothing like that, and I was like, from the outside, I was going crazy. I was like, yo, man, I gotta be with somebody. I gotta be in a relationship. I gotta do this. But in the inside, it was like, yo, this feels good. This feels good, man. You know, I got a lot of stuff done when I was by myself. You know, I would write books. I would read books. You know, it's just, I love being by myself. I love the notion of not having to answer to anyone, not to be judged, and I could just be who and what I want to be. I could pick up the phone and call whomever and act the way that I want to act. Whereas if I'm like with a female, and I'm talking to another female, I gotta kind of like curb what I'm saying and do this and be all uptight and that life sucks, man. It sucks. Straight up, man. It's just that whole 9 to 5 and being married, and just my opinion. Listen, you do what you want to do. I'm not knocking you. I'm just saying, for me, like, it just sucks. It's 9 to 5, or you're an entrepreneur and you working your ass off, and you paying the bills, and you married and you had children, and you got it there. Listen, I'm gonna raise my children, of course, but like, it just sucks. Like, I didn't ask for this shit. I just didn't. I want to be able to just go where I please, do what I do. That's that. I mean, I'm definitely going to take care of my fatherly duties, and I'm definitely going to play a part, major role in my family, period. But the conventional family thing and the whole being stable and living somewhere for 27 years and grade the fuck up with a fat ass stomach, watching the football games, drinking beer and talking about how you used to be, and looking at your virtual yearbook, and I had 8 touchdowns in high school and did, man, that's corny, man. That's corny, man. I want to be somewhere like Nairobi or something, and getting up early in the morning and exercising and shit, and just my perfect image that I see that motivates me every day is just like waking up on a beach. It's hot, staring at the water, pushing my dreads back to my head, and just reminiscing on my life and how far I've came. And I've done a good job as far as taking care of my family and my children, but this particular situation, this particular case, I had a few days to just sit there and just enjoy being by myself.